Alcatraz. The rock, the escape, and the mystery that remains. Welcome to Mystic America. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe for more incredible stories from history and mystery. The Prison on the Rock. Rising out of the cold waters of San Francisco Bay, Alcatraz Island has always carried an air of mystery and danger. Known simply as The Rock, it was once home to the most infamous maximum security prison in America. From 1934 until 1963, it held the country's most dangerous criminals. Men who were considered too violent, too cunning, or simply too difficult to contain anywhere else. Its inmates included legendary names like mobster Al Capone, gangster George "Machine Gun" Kelly, and the notorious Birdman of Alcatraz. The prison's design was harsh: reinforced steel bars, armed guard towers, and strict daily counts. Surrounded by freezing waters and powerful currents, Alcatraz was believed to be escape-proof. Life behind bars. At its peak, Alcatraz held just over 260 prisoners. Life was brutal but orderly. Cells were small and conditions were tough. Yet the isolation was perhaps the most punishing feature. Prisoners lived every day staring out at the distant city of San Francisco, so close and yet impossibly far away across the icy bay. Between 1934 and its closure in 1963, 36 inmates attempted to escape in 14 separate incidents. Most were quickly captured, some were killed, and a handful simply vanished into the waves. But one escape attempt in particular still fascinates the world. La Sister Great Escape. In 1960, Frank Morris, a bank robber known for his intelligence and repeated escape attempts, arrived at Alcatraz. Soon after, brothers John and Clarence Anglin, also seasoned escapees, were sent there as well. Together, they began to plot what would become the most famous breakout in American prison history. With the help of another inmate, Allen West, the men spent months secretly digging at the air vents in their cells. Using crude tools made from spoons, saw blades, and even a drill cobbled together from a vacuum motor, they chipped away bit by bit. Behind their cells lay an unguarded utility corridor, hidden from the guards' view. Inside that corridor, they built a secret workshop. Using stolen raincoats, they stitched together makeshift life vests and a large rubber raft, sealing the seams with hot steam pipes. They crafted paddles from scrapwood and even carved dummy heads from plaster and real human hair to fool the guards during bed checks. The disappearance. On the night of June 11, 1962, Morris and the Anglin brothers put their plan into action. While West was unable to free himself from his cell, the other three slipped into the corridor, climbed to the roof, and made their way to the island's shore. By morning, guards discovered the escape. In their beds lay the dummy heads, fooling the night patrol into believing the men were still asleep. The prison erupted in chaos, and the FBI was immediately called in. Search teams scoured the bay. Pieces of wood, a homemade life vest, and a packet of letters sealed in rubber were found. But the men themselves were never seen again. Did they survive? For 17 years, the FBI investigated the escape. Their official conclusion? The men likely drowned in the frigid waters, swept away by the relentless currents. Yet not everyone believes that. Some claim the Anglin brothers reached shore and disappeared into South America. Over the years, alleged sightings and even photographs have surfaced, though none have been verified. The U.S. Marshal Service still keeps the case technically open, just in case. The end of Alcatraz. Just a year after the escape, in 1963, Attorney General Robert Kennedy ordered the prison closed. The costs were too high and the infrastructure was crumbling, but the legend of Alcatraz was only beginning. In 1972, Congress turned the island into part of the Golden Gate National Recreation Area. Today, More than 1 million visitors a year come to walk the cell blocks, peer into the escape holes, and imagine what it must have been like to live, or to try and break free, on the Rock. The legacy of the Rock. Alcatraz remains one of the most iconic prisons in the world. It was meant to be escape-proof, yet the fate of Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers keeps the mystery alive. Did they perish in the cold waters of San Francisco Bay? Or did they outsmart the system and vanish into freedom? Perhaps we'll never know. But the story of Alcatraz reminds us of the fine line between myth and reality, and how even the most fortified walls cannot contain human determination. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the history and mystery of Alcatraz. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mystic America for more stories that bring the past to life.